You can rent an entire European country for 70 grand a night.
I've done it.
This is unimportant.
Guaranteed to not change your life. This is the Unimportant Podcast.
Welcome to the Unimportant Podcast. My name is Joe Bob. That is Anthony. As broadcast reports suggested earlier, I did not actually rent out an entire country in Europe, despite what previous reports might have stated. Whether or not
you just said that like 2 seconds ago. Nobody thought you were serious.
But apparently, you could rent an entire country.
You can rent the country of Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein?
Liechtenstein, whatever. Either way, it's the second time we have mentioned Liechtenstein on this podcast.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And we actually have plans to mention it more times in the future.
Interesting.
I think Liechtenstein is kind of hilarious. No offense to anyone, any of our
Liechtensteinings. Liechtensteinian listeners.
If you're from Liechtenstein, I doubt you are, but if you are, please tell us what to call you because I have no idea.
Email us at hello@unimportantpodcast.com.
So check this out. Just a few facts about Liechtenstein because, again, it's kind of fascinating.
Perfect.
The entire country is 61 square miles.
Whoa, that's pretty small.
It's sandwiched between Sweden and Austria. Mm-hmm. So it's 61 square miles. Let's talk about some other small places, smallish places, just in comparison. Mm-hmm. So the state of Rhode Island is our smallest state.
Tiny, minuscule. Doesn't even really matter. I'm just kidding, Rhode Island.
How many square miles do you think Rhode Island is?
Given the context, I'm assuming it's going to be more than Liechtenstein.
Just a little more. It's 1,034 square miles.
What? So Liechtenstein is tiny then. Interesting.
How big do you think the city of Los Angeles is?
Population-wise, like 3.5 million.
But area-wise,
I have no idea.
It's 503 square miles.
What? Holy crap.
Now, LA is a pretty big spread out city, but still, it's a city.
That's why it takes you so long to get from A to B in LA.
So the total population of Liechtenstein is 37,000.
That is like half of the people that grew up in the small town that I grew up in, or that lived in the small town that I grew up in.
The average LA Dodger game in 2018, on average,
twice that. Easy.
Had 47,000 people.
Okay. Oh, the average game. We're not talking sellouts here.
No. We're talking on the LA Dodgers average attendance in 2018 was 10,000 people larger than are in that country.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What?
I'm kind of thinking, you know how, and this is, I do not have any plans to do this, but you know how when you see armored trucks, am I the only psychopath that does this? But I think what would be the way to do that?
Yeah.
How would I?
There's movies about it.
How would I? Well, I understand that, but I'm just, I'm thinking myself. How would I do that if I were planning this out? Right?
Yeah, you have like those.
So are you thinking the same thing with Liechtenstein? 37,000 people. How do I take that over? How do I become the Liechtenese?
That actually was not Liechtenese. I don't think that's it.
Liechtensteinian.
That actually did not cross my mind.
Oh, well, apparently.
So check this.
Apparently I'm a crazy person.
So this country is actually for rent. And
what do you mean by for rent? Like I can rent like an apartment, or like I can rent like a clown to perform at my kid's birthday party?
Listen to this. In 2010, Snoop Dogg tried to rent the entire country for a music video.
My neighbor Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, whatever.
He waited for a music video?
He tried to rent the country for a music video.
Okay.
They said yes.
What? What does that mean? What does that mean to rent a country?
We're going to get into that.
Oh, jeez.
So it didn't happen because Snoop Dogg called like 5 days before they wanted to show up and shoot a music video. And they said, well, we would love to have you do that, but we need at least 6 months notice.
Rightfully
is what they said.
So, yeah. That would sound about right.
A few months later, the country of Liechtenstein was listed on Airbnb for $70,000 a night.
Now, is that a publicity stunt? I mean, what does that even mean? Like, how do you rent out the country? Like, do all 37,000 people like go into Austria and just kick it for however long?
Basically, they advertised that they could accommodate about 500 people. For your, keep in mind, it's 61 square miles. It's 6 miles by 10 miles. It's the size of a small city.
I understand that, but
so you could basically rent it out for your large party, corporate getaway. If you had a massive family reunion, whatever, you could come. You could use any of their hotel rooms, their empty buildings, or this and that. You could have streets and town squares renamed for your occasion.
Holy crap.
You could print temporary currency with your face on it.
Wow.
You could carve logos in the snow in the hillside. They would pretty much do anything. $70,000 was the base cost if you wanted to add on.
For one night?
Per night, minimum 2-night stay.
So $150,000, I can have a. Can I get them to do whatever I want? Not necessarily whatever I want, but picture this, right? The entire country of Liechtenstein, 37,000 people.
Yep.
Split that down the middle. We're all on different laser tag teams. we have one. We have one line.
You could stage a takeover of their country.
I've always wanted to do this at Disneyland. Have people start off at Disneyland and then other people off at California Adventure, and then the line is in the middle, and you pick capture the flag with laser tag.
Oh, that'd be so
Could
fun.
you do that in Liechtenstein?
I bet you could.
Can I rent it for $150,000 and then just ask all of the citizens,
What do
hey,
you
can you participate in whatever game that I want to play?
What do you think the area of Disneyland is?
It's 83 acres. I just looked it up. So, 85 acres.
Okay.
Oh, that's Disneyland. I don't know if that includes California Adventure, 72 acres. So overall, 157 acres. I have no idea what that equates to in miles.
That does not help us here.
But just that's been my lifelong dream, and I wonder, can I do that on a bigger scale in Liechtenstein and get all of the Liechtensteinians to play laser tag or just regular tag, regular capture the flag, 63-mile capture the flag.
Full contact capture the flag.
Oh, that would be so
fun.
much fun.
Yeah, this is so unimportant.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the podcast. If you want to make a difference and change the world, probably listen to something else.